Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today for you we are going to be talking about the new Morphe / Jaclyn Hill collab Vault collection and all the drama around it and what I think of the shadows. So let's get into it. So I just wanted to point out to you that I do have the original Jaclyn Hill palette. This is actually like my favourite go-to when in a pinch palette because I know like it performs amazingly. I love all the colours in here, all the formulas, they are just fab. I literally have no problems with this whatsoever. It works amazingly for me. I wear it pretty much every day and the seagulls have decided to start shouting. Who's left their bins out? So when Jaclyn Hill announced that she was going to be releasing all the other shades they didn't use in the original palette, I was so excited because I just loved the formula so much. It was something that I definitely needed or wanted in my life. So I was just one of those people that was counting down the days to the release date, and obviously then we had all the drama that came with beauty influencers getting their PR packages and actually the formulas being patchy, talky, just really inconsistent, and Morphe basically saying we're not going to release it. So I thought, you know what, that's great because I really love the palette, that like the original, I love it. I have complete faith that they will fix this and, you know, sort this out and, you know, kind of like get it up to that standard that it needs to be. And you know what, I was one of those people that bought Subculture when it came out and was so disappointed. I did not want a repeat of that again. Even though I like that palette, I do like the colours, don't get me wrong, I do like it, but it was disappointing. So yeah, I waited and waited, and obviously the day that it came, that it was online, I'm in the UK, so the day that it came online, I literally snapped it up super quick and it arrived 2 days later. It has literally been sitting like on my desk waiting for me to try it, and I did like dip into 1 or 2 shades. I'll let you know what I think about them later, but yeah, and I just wanted to kind of do this video when I had my day off and had some time to spend on it. I am really glad I've waited to do this video because it has just like come to light apparently. Who was it? Beauty Sleuth Online has put it on YouTube today that apparently Morphe and Becca and Jaclyn Hill are now going to court over the logo situation with the Vault, and there could be situations where they're like, you can't sell it, or I don't know, who knows what's going to happen, but there is serious beef with that. So yeah, let's have a little look, shall we? So this is the Vault collection that I received. Mine had 2 sets of a set of stickers on it. So it had the original formula underneath, and I'm just going to see if I can get the camera to focus on that. So that was the original formula, and then this is the, there we go, that is the new formula. So they are very similar, they've pretty much got exactly the same ingredients in, but the new formula starts with mica and the old one starts with talc, and this was just like stuck over the top, which makes sense because it saves on packaging and they don't have to like wait for new packaging, because like the turnaround on this was like 6-8 weeks, something like that. So the fact that they were able to like fix it within that amount of time is really fantastic. And then inside I got the like cute little box with the ribbon, and all the palettes sit inside that. Now I have already like played around and done a couple of swatches of these. I just wanted to say that on the back of all of mine it does actually say V2, okay, and the batch number is AB06H, because I know there are various batch numbers going round. The other thing that's really interesting is that on my Armed and Gorgeous palette, which was the first palette that I went into and had a little play with. I used the shade Top Secret. There is something interesting going on here. I'm not really sure, but the batch number on the original palette has a sticker over it, and they've put a new batch number on it. So the original batch number was AB04E, and the new one is AB06H. So they all say AB06H on it, but this one has a sticker over the top of it, which I thought was a little bit odd, because all the others don't. They're all like printed onto it. So that's strange, very strange. I'm not sure how I feel. I don't feel confident that I know what batch this is from, but hey ho. Jaclyn did put a post out apparently saying that people are reading too much into batch numbers. I personally, if you haven't seen my video on companies selling people old makeup, go and check that out, because you can put in, with some companies, the batch number into certain websites and it tells you exactly when it was made, because batch numbers are registered for like health and safety. So yeah, I'm not completely like on par with that kind of view, but I'm no way an expert, so you know, I could be wrong. You know, if I am wrong, let me know. But yeah, personally, I have tried these a little bit before I did my like first impressions video, because I wanted to see whether or not I could get them to work for me. All I'm going to say is that if I could return them, I probably would. At the same time, I do really like the shimmers. The mattes are, I am not impressed. Okay, so just before we get into the palettes, just to let you know that I have already swatched these and played around with some of the shadows. I personally am absolutely in love with the shimmers that are in here. I think they are absolutely to die for. Beautiful, and the formulas that I would expect from a shimmer. However, the formula of the mattes, so I'm just going to take two mattes from each palette. So this is the Bling Boss palette, which is actually my favourite. I really like these colours. So this is Rockstar, and this is Sparks. Okay, so they look not too bad. This seems to be the best out of all of them, but it stains my fingers. I can't seem to get it off my fingers very well. Okay, so the next palette is Armed and Gorgeous, and this is the one that has the strange sticker thing going on with it. So this is Top Secret. This is the shadow I've had the most problems with. See, it's just quite chalky. And then let's do Secure. I am a big orange eyeshadow fan, if anyone's seen my channel before, and I've really had problems with this palette. These two just look the same to me. Like, there's like literally hardly any difference between Secure and Agent. I don't really get it, but hey ho. Oh, now this one's been a problem. Potion. So this is the Dark Magic palette, which looks super cool. Really like the look of this, just because it's quite different. So Potion, for me, has been really patchy as well. So that is just... ugh. And do you know what other one in here which I've really struggled with is Trickery. It's just not come out as nicely as, like, it goes on my finger really pretty, but when I try and swatch it, or like put it on the eye, it just isn't coming out as nice. And do you know what, these swatches are really looking better than any others that I've done so far, but it's not behaving itself. Okay, and last but not least, we have Ring the Alarm, which apparently is the most popular, but I think it's the most boring, because like I have like 20,000 palettes that are like exactly this colour. Like this isn't anything new really. So let's just go in with Alert. I'm just literally like rubbing to get as much out as possible, because I just have so many problems with these. Oh, that's Alert. And then let's look at Rush. See, very similar again. Like the oranges in these two are just so similar. I feel like there's a lot of orange, but I don't see a massive difference between them. This one's a little bit more like darker toned, but yeah, that's some of the pigments that I'm getting. You can see that green is just looks terrible. Okay, I'm then just going to swatch some of the mattes that are in the original Morphe palette against, so you can kind of see what they look like swatched side by side. So I'm just going to kind of show you, I'm just going to put them here. There we go. So that's like even less, but look how much consistency there is. Okay, so we're going to go in and create a look with these palettes. I'm just going to do like maybe like a couple of colours from each one today, because I feel like I could do like quite a lot of looks with these palettes, but yeah, I might just try like a couple of different shades from each one. I've primed my eyes today using the Balm. I love the Balm eyeshadow primer, it's my fave. And we're going to be using my bestest brushes, because I feel like I need to give this the best opportunity to shine. Maybe it's just that my brushes weren't good enough, and I have Morphe brushes, so... but yeah, we're going to use my Zoeva ones today, because they're my most expensive, beautiful brushes. We're going to go in and use the purple palette. So I've been using the Norvina palette recently, which I love so much. So I think, do you know what, like using this is going to be really, really nice. And I've got some like little ideas about what I would quite like to do, but we'll see if it's going to work or not. So in my opinion, this is the best palette out of them. It takes a lot of blending to get like a smooth look. You really have to go in and then go in again and then go in again to try and get like it not to look patchy or like two colours with a line in between, and you can achieve it, you can. It's a lot of effort is what I'm going to say on that one. But yeah, really pretty. Not necessarily like my colours, but yeah, it just looks a little bit like translucent, like you move the shadow, but it doesn't, you lose the pigmentation. It's really interesting. I'm not a massive fan, but like I said, this is the best one out of them, but let's try some others. So that was the Armed and Gorgeous palette. Do you know, I think I may have cracked why I had so many problems the first time I used them. And I just think it didn't like the primer that I was using. I think the primer that I'm using today, the first time I used these, I used a Tarte primer, and it just didn't really go on very well. But like the primer that I'm using today, like, it's like they're completely different eyeshadows. I mean, like, the blending is not the easiest. Like, I am blending a lot, but they're pretty good. I'm still really in love with the shimmers in here. They are amazing. But it does look cool. Okay, so let's try the troubled colours, I think, that I had problems with the first time round. That will be the true test to see if actually these are okay as long as you use the right type of primer. Okay, so for the sake of an experiment, because the first time I used these shadows I absolutely hated them, I'm going to try doing this. So I've got my put a lid on it on this side. This is the Balm primer, which I've used throughout this video and have had no problems. And this is the Tarte Shape Tape Eye Primer, which is what I used the first time I used these shadows, and they looked awful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same look that I did the very first time that I used these shadows. I'm going to try it on these eyes, and I'm just going to see whether or not the primer makes a difference, because that seems to be the common situation that's going on now. Okay, so this is the finished look. I mean, what I would say is that the greens definitely behaved a little bit better than what they did last time for me. I don't think the primer made that much of a difference. I mean, there's still a few blending issues. I don't know if you're going to be able to see there, but there's like a patch where it's like just like it's completely a different colour. It's like the pigment's just gone. Something to do with the greens definitely isn't still quite right, but that's just my personal opinion. Like, you might find that someone else has used it and it's fine. It might be the primer, it might be the way that they put the colours on. I have found that if you swipe them on with like a flat brush, like a paddle, like a flat eyeshadow brush, they look really a lot more translucent than if you dab them on. So like dabbing is the way to go. But I mean, I'm not necessarily not going to use them. I do really like them. I like the fact that they complement and they're a little bit different. The shimmers are like so on point, like it's just unreal. But I just think they were hyped up so much that I expected a little bit more. and I suppose you get what you pay for. They're £15 a palette, so the blending takes forever, and I mean forever. I mean, my eyes are so sore just from the blending alone. Like probably like way more time than I would usually spend blending eyeshadows. Like, I'm not used to having to go over and over and over and over again to get that blend as much as possible that you want, and then you end up with like just a mess, so then you have to go back over it again, and it is coming together, it's just taking a lot longer. So yeah, I think the formula still isn't perfect. I don't think they fixed all the problems that they had originally. I think it's maybe better than what it was. I don't really know because I never had the original, but yeah, I'm not sure. Like, none of these looks make me feel, wow, this is a gorgeous eyeshadow. Like recently I got the Norvina palette, and I cannot explain how pretty those shadows are. They're so gorgeous. But this, I just feel like they're all a little bit harsh, or dull, or I don't know, like they don't pop. That's the thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for that pop, and I'm not getting it from the mattes. You get it definitely from the shimmers, like the shimmers are on point, but the mattes do not pop for me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you've tried it, if you've used it, if you've enjoyed using it, is there something I could do differently? Yeah, let me know. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to check out some more of my videos, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.